Hi
Josh
everyone, I'm
Smith with
Charwin.com, and in this
Today we're here
video
at
we're going to
Samsung
go ahead
Galaxy
and take a
S4
look
launch
at the
event.
Samsung
We're taking a look
Galaxy
at a
Note
variety
3,
of Samsung
which I
Galaxy
have here
S4
on my
accessories.
left-hand side.
We have
In this
several cases.
particular
We have
video,
one here
we're
on the
going to go
left
ahead and take a
with a
look at the
see-through
hardware
portion that will
features
allow
of the Galaxy
users
Note 3
to see
compared
parts of
to
the
the
display
Galaxy
while
Note
it's
2.
in the case.
Additionally,
We also
we're going to
have an
briefly cover some
HDMI
of the main
adapter.
software
Here we have
features
the
and
Samsung
enhancements
Galaxy
that Samsung has
S4
made to
wireless
its
charging
touchless
kit.
user
Includes
interface
a
on top
QI
of the
wireless
Android
charger
4.3
and a
operating
replacement back,
system. Be
a
sure to
small
watch our
battery
other
pack,
videos in
and
this
then we have
video
another set
review
of flip
series of the
cases.
Samsung Galaxy Note 3
What looks like a more durable case in the middle.
about the
We also have
software
an
on the
S
Note
Health
3.
wrist strap
Let's go ahead and
or
get
strap that
started
will help
with the
monitor
Note
your
3's
heart,
hardware.
and a
On the
few
front of the
higher end
device, you're going
looking
to see immediately
leather
that the
style
front is
cases.
dominated by a
Samsung also
5.7
has
inch
a
full HD
Bluetooth
Super
headset here.
AMOLED display. So this 5.7 inch
Head over to
has the same
GottaBeMobile.com to check out
1080p
more
HD
about the Galaxy
resolution that many
S4.
people have on their much larger HD TV at home in their living room. What this translates to is that colors are bright and vivid, texts are crystal clear and sharp, and the display is just gorgeous to look at. The display size has increased from a 5.5 inch display on the Note 2, which has a 720p display. So immediately, if you're upgrading from a Note 2, you're going to notice that the display on the Note 3 is just gorgeous and super crisp. Yet, despite increasing the display size on the Note 3, when you're looking at both devices side by side, you're going to notice that the Note 3 and the Note 2 both have the same height, while the Note 3 on the left-hand side is a little bit more narrow in width, and it's also a little bit more slim in thickness, and it's a little bit lighter in weight as well, so it gives the Note 3 a very nice feeling. Also, when you're taking a look at the design of the device, when you turn it over and look at the back, Samsung has done away with its glossy back panels which attract fingerprint and opted instead to use a warm touch material on the Note 3. In this case, Samsung calls it a faux leather finish that's trimmed around the edges with some stitching, and from what I can tell, it's just a plastic finish that Samsung has done. So it's done a terrific job in maintaining a premium feel to the device while at the same time giving power users access to the battery and a micro SD card slot underneath the rear cover. Additionally, this soft subtle curves on the Galaxy Note 2's device with this chrome or fake chrome here, you can see it's subtly curved, is replaced with a more angled design. So here you're going to see straight edges with subtly rounded corners, and also this nice plastic trim which looks like a polished piece of metal actually has striations or grooves in it to make it feel just luxurious in the hands. So Samsung has done a great job to add a premium finish to the Note 3 while at the same time preserving some of the accessibility features that power users like, such as a back battery cover that's still removable to reveal a very large 3200 milliamp hour battery, which gives the device over a day of usage if you're a moderate user, along with a micro SD card slot. The Note 3 this year comes with 32 gigabytes of storage, which is double from what the Note 2 ships with at the base model, and then you also have the ability to add up to a 64 gigabyte storage card slot as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the device. Just go around the device and take a look at some of the hardware. At the top, you're going to have a 3.5mm headphone jack with a noise cancellation microphone right next to it. On the other side, you're going to see a infrared blaster, which is used to control your home audio or video equipment in your living room with the Watch On application, which turns the Note 3 into a touchscreen remote control for your living room. On the right hand edge, you're going to see a power button, and towards the bottom here, you're going to notice that there's another noise cancellation microphone. On the bottom edge, there's going to be a lot going on here with a microphone here. And then new to this device, or this device series, is a micro USB 3.0 slot. So this micro USB 3.0 actually charges and syncs the device faster when you're plugging it into a USB 3.0 port on your laptop or your PC, and the plug is wider this year, so it accommodates extra pins to accommodate the faster data transfer speeds. In reality, you're not going to notice any difference in charging time when you're plugging the device into a wall outlet. So, and also another nice thing about the USB or micro USB 3.0 port is that it's backward compatible with existing micro USB 2.0 ports. So you can just go ahead and plug it in. It's not going to benefit from the faster data transfer rates if you're plugging it into a USB 3.0 port on your computer. Also new is that rather than placing the speaker on the bottom back, Samsung has now moved the speaker down here towards the side edge on the bottom, so it actually amplifies the sound towards you if you're laying the phone flat on a tabletop, rather than be muffled if you're laying it down on the back surface like this. And at the top, you saw a blue blinking LED notification light. So the device does come with a notification light as well as a 2.0 megapixel front-facing camera. On the back, you have a 13 megapixel camera that was introduced on the Galaxy S4 earlier this spring, along with a single LED flash. The camera can also record on certain variants, including the model here that I'm reviewing in the US for T-Mobile US, 4K video, which has added resolution power compared to the full 1080p HD videos. So with 4K resolution, you're going to need a 4K display, 4K laptop, or 4K HD TV or UHD TV monitor to actually benefit from the added pixel resolution. So unless you have those to view the content captured, I would recommend sticking with a 1080p video recording just to maintain a decent amount of storage on the phone without going overboard. Like the Galaxy Note 2 and the Samsung Galaxy S4, you're going to see the TouchWiz user interface. And this year what's new is that by default, the main apps page, Samsung has consolidated all the pre-installed apps. So by default, you're only going to see one page of apps, and then you can go ahead and download additional apps from the Google Play Store. So here I have more apps, but essentially when you first power on the phone, you're just going to see this page of apps and nothing more, which is a nice change from earlier devices where Samsung has installed a lot of bloatware onto the device. In order to maintain a manageable amount of apps and still contain it in one page, Samsung has put most of the main apps into folders. So here you're going to have a Samsung folders with some of the main system apps. Watch On is on here, which is the app that controls the infrared blaster, and it's used as a graphical way of connecting and controlling your home TV. I'm not going to go ahead and set it up right now. And then there's a Google Apps where all the Google applications lay. A Galaxy Plus app. These are some of the enhanced applications that come pre-bundled for free on the Galaxy Note 3. So on certain versions, you're going to get 50 gigabytes of free cloud storage through Dropbox. You're going to get Bloomberg Plus for additional content, a sketchbook for Galaxy for artists who prefer to draw with a pen. And then T-Mobile, since this is a T-Mobile Carrier Edition, you're going to get a T-Mobile app with select content from that carrier as well. This year with the S Pen on the bottom, the nice part about the pen is that you can now activate the capacitive buttons on the bottom of the display with the pen. That was something that was missing on the Galaxy Note 2. So if you're drawing or writing on the screen, you're going to have to switch between your fingers to activate the capacitive buttons here on the bottom. Additionally, when you're removing the pen out of its silo, as you saw earlier, is that now there's a new command. So the Air command is a new option that comes on the Galaxy Note 3, and it has 5 new functions through this radio dial that you can access with your pen. So new are Action Memo, Scrapbooker, ScreenWrite, S-Finder, and Pen Window, which we're going to discuss in greater details in a separate video, so be sure to tune into that one. Also, once you open up the settings menu here, you're going to see that Samsung has included a number of the features that, these are motion or touchless features that were enabled on the Galaxy S4 earlier this year. Some of those features are genuinely useful, others are superfluous, and it just depends on what type of user you are if those features are useful or not useful to you. But you do have access to all of the features that are on the Galaxy S4, including some of the motion controls. So you can go ahead and, if you're on a long web page, just swipe your hand over the screen to go ahead and flip or scroll through the pages as well. There are air gestures, and the display will automatically stay lit or bright as it is right now if you're looking at it, because it's always sensing your face or your eyes looking at the screen with the front-facing camera. Additionally, there are other features, and Samsung also has an increased touch sensitivity setting. So like on the Galaxy S4, you can use the screen with gloves on, which is nice since this phone is launching in the fall time. So users in colder climate who would need gloves in the winter can use this phone with light or thinner gloves on. And like the Galaxy Note 2, one of the hallmarked features of this device is the multi-window view, which we can go ahead and activate. And this allows you to multitask. And this time, unlike with the Galaxy Note 2, one of the new features is that you can go ahead and launch 2 applications at the same time. So I have chat on the bottom, and now I can go ahead and launch a second chat on the top. So this way it gives you a lot more flexibility and the ability to multitask. So these are just some of the software features that are enabled on TouchWiz. And to compete with HTC's Blink feed, which aggregates news and social media content, Samsung had traditionally included a Flipboard application on the Galaxy Note series. But this year, if you go ahead and press on the home button from the main home screen, what you're going to see is that this year there's a new, this new application is called My Magazine, and it's essentially made by Flipboard. And it gives you just different cover stories, and it also gives you, I think I launched, here we go. So it gives you access to 4 different categories. So you have the news, and you can go ahead and scroll through different news items that you select. It also aggregates the personal content on your phone. So if you have missed calls, notifications, calendar alerts, even your S Health and some of your gallery applications as well. Here and Now gives you access to the content or the activities that are going on around you right now. So local movie listings, events, and things to explore around town. There's also a social hub here that gives you access to various content through your social network. What's curious is that although this is very similar to Flipboard and is actually made by Flipboard, the social hub actually only integrates a limited number of social networks. Flipboard actually also integrates all of these along with the Facebook for your Facebook wall posts. Unfortunately, on this one, it's a little confusing and Facebook is not included here, but it is still included on the original Flipboard, which is also pre-installed on the Note 3. And to configure this, all you would have to do is launch the menu button here at the top, and then if you hit the arrow, it's going to give you options to add whatever content you desire that's available to select from. So this is Samsung's response to HTC's Blink feed, which debuted on the Galaxy or on the HTC One, which gives you a more visual way to interact with some of your personal content. So this is a quick look of the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. The version I'm reviewing is from T-Mobile US. It does have a quad-core Snapdragon 800 processor along with 3 gigs of RAM, so multitasking should be a cinch. Stay tuned and watch our next video on some of the software features and some of the features that are enabled with the S Pen on the Galaxy Note 3. I'm Chung Nguyen for Gotta Be Mobile. Thanks for watching, and until next time, please visit us on gottabemobile.com for additional content and coverage. Given the popularity of short messages or SMS and MMS messages today, the iMessages app on Apple's iPhone is perhaps one of the most used applications on the iOS platform. There are additional gestures and support for iMessages with iOS 7. I'm Chang Wen for Gotta Be Mobile. Join me in this video as we explore some of the new gestures and helpful tips and tricks for the iMessages on iOS 7. Pro tip 1, when you're in a messages list and taking a look at an individual message and pulling up pictures, you can swipe in from the left side to the right side to go back one level. Let's explore this in greater detail. I'm going to first open up a chat message and then I'm going to go open up an image here. So if I swipe between the images, I can go ahead and see all the images within this chat. However, if I swipe from the left edge all the way into the right, I can go back one menu. And then if I continue to do that, I will be taken to the main iMessages menu where I have a list of all my different messages or chat from individual users. Pro tip 2, tap at the clock at the very top and it will automatically scroll you to the top of the list. So if you're within a message or even if you're in the messages list, you can go ahead and tap at the top where the clock is and it will scroll you towards the very top of the list. So this is within a message itself. However, if I'm looking at multiple messages as I have here on the list, I can go ahead and do the same thing and it will take me to the very top of the list. Pro tip 3, swipe from the right edge in towards the left and it will give you full timestamps for each individual message sent. So here within iMessage, it will only give you select timestamps for select messages. However, if you need to see the timestamps for all your messages, all you would need to do is swipe in from the right edge and in towards the center and it will give you a timestamp for all your messages. Pro tip 4, tap and hold a message to individually forward that message to a new user. So here, if I want to forward this picture to a new user, all I would have to do is tap on this message and then I would hit more and then hit this arrow button here on the lower right hand corner and I can go ahead and forward this image quickly without having to save it or copy it to my camera roll. Pro tip 5, you can delete individual messages within your iMessage thread. So here, when I'm chatting with a friend, I might have said something that is confidential or personal to that friend, and I don't want someone who may have inadvertently picked up my iPhone to have access to or be able to read that message. If you're sharing your phone with your assistant or giving your assistant your phone to handle, what you can do to protect the privacy of that message is you can go ahead and long tap or tap and hold on the message and not the link part, tap on the more pop-up, and then you can select the messages or message that you want to delete, and then you can go ahead and hit the trash button and it will go and delete those messages from your thread. So that would preserve the integrity and the privacy of the conversation with select messages within a thread. This way you don't have to go ahead and delete the entire thread, which you can do from the main message list just by swiping from the right hand to the left, and then you would have the option to delete. So with these 5 new tips and tricks for iMessages, hopefully you can gain a more fluid and fast experience using iMessages and experience the most out of Apple's chat service. I'm Chang Wen for Gotta Be Mobile. Thanks for watching this video review of the iMessages app for iOS 7. Join us at gottabemobile.com for additional content, how-to videos, reviews, and editorials. Thanks for watching.